Hi, everybody. Good morning. This is Thomas, also known as Nimley. And I just wanted to, start my first episode today on my new YouTube channel on the topic of, Wealth Wednesday. Sorry. Just wanted to start my first YouTube video on that today. So this is the very first episode ever of Wealth Wednesdays. Just wanted to, kind of share the knowledge that I have, talk to you about like my experiences, what I've done, to start creating wealth for myself. Because it's a destination for me. I'm not like as wealthy as some people out there. I'm striving to get there. So, I've achieved a level of like financial security. So I feel like I can talk to you about building wealth, and it comes from understanding. It comes from understanding money, and it comes from understanding relationships. It comes from understanding business to some degree. But more importantly, to be able to create wealth, you have to change your mindset. You have to change your mindset about money, change your mindset about people, change your mindset about what all of that means. And it is a process. You don't just get there today, or you don't just get there in like 6 months. You don't get there in 1 year. Sometimes it takes a couple years or a few years to understand and start applying these principles. But anyway, so I just wanted to say, a lot of what I know about wealth, I've learned from Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Also, a lot of what I know about finances comes from my time in the military, where I was taught to pay yourself first. And then recently, I've been watching this guy on YouTube. His name is Garrett Gunderson. And he's just a genius. Both Robert Kiyosaki and Garrett Gunderson are geniuses in my book. Garrett Gunderson wrote a book called Killing Sacred Cows. And then he also wrote What Would the Rockefellers Do? Just kind of talking about, all these different things. These are more like, this is like advanced level on this stuff. But I just wanted to start basic. A lot of people talk about money and they never really start with the first step, which is discipline. You have to be disciplined in some way. And when I say that, I mean, you have to set a goal for yourself, a small goal, which is, every time I get paid, for example, I'm going to set aside $20. And that doesn't sound like a lot of money to people, but you usually spend $20 at McDonald's. But like, you would be keeping $20 and keeping that $20 and building upon that and start saving that. But, I'm not just talking about saving to save. I'm talking about saving with a goal, because saving money is just to keep it, just to look at it. That's another thing. That's like kind of like putting money under your mattress. And like, that's so old school. And like, of course, that's not taking into account inflation on your money, which is inflation is kind of like the devaluing of the money, watering down the money, so to speak. And then the next thing I want to talk to you about, since we talked about discipline, the next thing I want to talk about is the mentality. Creating wealth comes from having a different kind of mentality about money, about relationships, and about people. So, a lot of people, so scarcity, people have this mindset of like, there's just a small amount of money that exists in the world, or a small amount of money that exists out there. Everybody else that already has that, and there's no way for them to go get their own or to do anything. Like the decisions have already been made. The game's already won. Game's rigged. That's just a mentality of saying that like that's just a self-defeating mentality that gets you nowhere. Now to change that, you have to start thinking abundance. I mean, someone said, like, I can't remember exactly, but when you change the things you look at, the things you look at change. If you start thinking about changing your current situation, because that's what wealth would do for you, wealth building would do for you. It'll set you up for the future, set you up for now, and you can start living the kind of life that you have always dreamt of. So when you have an abundance mentality, you'll see things from a perspective of, how do I solve some problems that are limiting me right now to get to my financial goals? You'll start with that. And, you know, an abundance mindset isn't like people would think, like frivolous spending. Like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to spend, you know, like that's not what I mean here. I'm really talking about an abundance mindset, knowing that like you have what it takes to create wealth. You just have to start seeking to solve problems in society. When you solve problems for people, they usually are grateful enough to either thank you or to, you know, to pay you for the problem that you've solved for them. And that's how wealth is created. Wealth is created when you solve problems for others. When you create a product that people love, that's value. When you provide them with a service that, an exceptional service that they wouldn't get anywhere else, they are usually willing to pay a lot of money for it. So really what I'm going into now is building a business. So like I said in the very beginning, you want to save money, but you don't want to save money just because. You want to save money to eventually create some asset that will put money in your pocket, or to either buy an asset or to create an asset. Look around you. There are a lot of problems to be solved. When you look at that and you start thinking to yourself that, oh yeah, if I solve that problem, I can solve my money problem too. And if I help other people, they will help me back by paying me, or they will help me by becoming my, you know, like it'll be a mutual thing, right? They would win and you would win. So it's not like a competition kind of mindset when people come think about money. It's just kind of like, I need to have more money so I can show off to people. You know, true wealth is really built when you solve a problem for people, when you help them, when you meet them where they are. They're usually willing to give you money. So, and that's just it. And of course, paying yourself first is where you start from. You start from paying yourself first. You start from saving that $20. Then when you get comfortable doing that, then you pay yourself $50 every time you get paid. And then you continue to build upon that. When you reach to a certain level where you have saved enough money, then you can start researching what to put that money on, how to get a good return on that investment. And that's how you start building wealth, folks. So if you like my video, please don't hesitate to subscribe, like, or comment. I'd love to get some feedback. If there's something that I glossed over, you want me to talk more about it, I'm more than willing to do that. But no, I'm just thank you for watching my first episode of Wealth Wednesdays. Sorry. I'm going to continue to build on this. I feel like I didn't touch a whole lot on a lot of really key points in building wealth, but I feel like a mentality, you know, first disciplining yourself to save money with a goal in mind. Second, changing your mentality from one of scarcity, where you think, oh, there's just a limited amount of money left in the world or in the world, when in reality, money, you know, there's still an infinite amount of money that you could put into the world, that anybody else could put into the world. All right. And then, of course, educating yourself on finances, understanding how to make the best of your savings at the same time. We can touch on that on another video. And of course, just remember, like, you will create wealth when you add value to someone, when you add value to people, when you create a product or a service, that's how you can take your saved money and turn that into and start building wealth on it. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Please like my video. Please subscribe. Like I said, I'm brand new to this YouTube vlogging thing, so I'm not quite fluid in that. I'm still working on some other things, but I'll see you on Friday when I'm going to talk about, I think it's Freedom Fridays. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.